Hi guys, so I'm back again. So sorry if you hear like the music in the background and like that Mexican woman talking. That's my mother. I'm unfortunately filming when everyone's home. I was supposed to film this earlier, but I was too lazy to get ready so early, so I'm filming this at 6 o'clock. Well, 5. It's actually 5. But with daylight savings, it's actually pretty dark outside. So basically, I want to talk about tranny chasers. Like, what are they? Who are they? What's their agenda? Let's get into this video. Okay, so I have been dealing with tranny chasers for years now. It's the phrase is a phrase that the trans community use for men who are tranny chasers. Basically, men who only see women like us, like a fetish, and only see us as a secret, like nothing more. You know, if we were to be in a relationship, like that's, you know, it's gonna be on the low key. Like no one want, he doesn't want anyone knowing that we're dating. He doesn't want his family knowing. Like it's just basically us being treated like a fetish. Now, a lot of people have perspective and how they see people who are tranny chasers. A lot of girls, I have seen videos where a lot of girls who talk about them that they're actually pretty much okay with it because it's easy for them, you know, not to explain who they are, where they come from, you know, like they have to basically explain their whole transition to someone else because the person is just okay with them being trans, whatever. To me, I don't know. I feel like I'm like in the middle between it. You know, I don't want to be seen like a fetish. I'm a human being with feelings. I'm someone who wants to feel the compassion that any other relationship would feel without having to feel like I'm someone else's fetish. So when it really comes down to talking about like guys dating trans women, is like I said, it's a very, have you watched my tips on dating trans women? It's a very, it's it's complicated. I feel like it's complicated in general. Dating and being in a relationship is complicated, but dating someone who is transgender, I feel like it just adds a lot more to the plate than it would have. I know that's kind of shitty to say, but it's the truth. I mean, like I said, like dating someone who is trans, like a lot of people have, like, you know, they don't sit down and listen to what that person has been through or what that person's story is. Sometimes they don't even bother to learn about the person, you know, to learn that we're just like anyone else who wants to feel that compassion and that love with, you know, just like anyone else would. There's a lot of misconceptions. There you go. Misconceptions about dating someone who is trans or talking to someone who is trans. You know, I think a lot of trans people like just give up and trying to explain or even trying to educate people because it's just, it gets exhausting sometimes. And you know, sometimes I feel like those girls who are okay with tranny chasers, I think those are the ones who just, you know, they've had enough with having to explain where they come from, having to explain their gender, having to explain what transgender means, or you know, where they came from. And you know, I've actually run into, I mean, it's pretty much easy to run into people who are, you know, tranny chasers. I, for a few months in my transition, I actually ran to a lot of them, but I was naive and stupid, so I just thought that they actually wanted to date me and they wanted to be with me because of who I was. But actually, I was dating this guy who was way much older than me. So, you know, I started transitioning in my late 18s. So, you know, I was a baby, whatever. And I was pretty, like I said, young, naive. And this guy made it seem like, oh, you know, like I'm going to love you, like I'm going to protect you, like, you know, it's going to be me and you, this and that. and he was way older actually. He was 29. So he was, going into his 30s. So, I thought, hey, I'm going to be dating someone who is mature, who knows what they want, like, is ready for this, stuff like that. Here I am, 18, working my butt off, getting my shit together, trying to make a living. And so this guy, slowly I like started to realize that it was not going to be a relationship that I had hoped for. I mean, of course, even before I came out, like, I already knew, like, there was guys who were in the low key, stuff like that. So I kind of knew the drill a little bit. But here I am, like, I'm fresh out of the closet, being a transgender, telling people I'm a girl and, stuff like that. And, having guys being attracted to me, calling me beautiful, etc. And then, having this guy who just seems so into me and stuff. And then finally, like, realizing, like, oh, like, we would go on dates and stuff. And, like, he never wanted to bring me around his friends. He never wanted to, like, take me home because he lived with his, I think with his brother. So it was just a constant thing that it was not going to be a relationship that I thought it would have been. So one night we were hanging out, and it started to get intense, sexual and whatnot. And in my head I just thought to myself, like, is this all that I am to him? And I, like, stopped and I asked him, and he had told me that that he wasn't ready to come out. And by that I was so confused, because he was like, I'm not ready to come out as gay. I'm like, what do you mean? And from here, like, I just knew that it was not going to work out, because my mom won't leave me alone. I knew from there that it wasn't going to go the way I hoped it would have. I see myself 100% as a woman, and I only date straight men. I've never, besides someone who's bisexual or pansexual, but other than that, I've never been with anyone who was gay. I kind of doubt that any gay man would be attracted to me or would want to do anything with me sexually. So, when he had told me this, like, I was so confused and disappointed, because I was like, what? Like, I just didn't even know what was going on. So, a few weeks passed by. I had stopped talking for, little by little. And then I was, back then, like I said, I was young and naive. I didn't know where to take this. So I blocked him. And I've never heard from him ever again. I don't hope to, because, like I said, I've grown a lot from then, who I am now. I'm 21 now. I know what I want. I'm not a fetish. I'm not someone who you're going to keep a secret. Like, I get it if our relationship is not always going to be out there. I personally, if I ever get in a relationship, I don't want my relationship to be too public. I feel like in a public eye, relationship tends to be more chaotic, and it causes problems, and I've seen it cause problems. And that's not what I want. I don't want my relationship to be based off, like, social media, like getting all these likes because we're, like, the cutest couple, like, blah blah blah, like, I have this boyfriend who accepts me, like, oh, la la la. Like, it's a lot, and I feel like it's going to be a lot for me and a lot for the person who I'm going to be dating. I'm happy with meeting your family, with you meeting my family, with us taking pictures, and not being like the the couple. Just, I want to be happy with someone. I want to share my happiness with someone. I want to succeed with someone. I don't see any other way of a relationship. And a relationship, is based off a lot of things. But anyways, off topic. Yeah, so tranny chasers. My feelings towards them is just, I don't even know. I talked to a few guys, and some guys, like, they're just too aggressive when you're talking to them, and it's that actually makes me stop talking to them, because the way they just talk to me and the way they make me feel in the inside is just it's not what I'm looking for. like, oh, like, you know, I've been with so many trans girls, like, I'm so in love with you guys, like, you guys are so hot, like, you guys have this and that, like, you know, you have this that other cis women don't have, like, this and that, like, I don't know, it's just, it's a lot for me. Like, I personally, like, good for you that, you know what you want, but I'm not going to be seen as a fetish, and I'm also not going to be kept a secret. If any of my other trans homegirls out there who have mutual feelings about this or have other opinions about this, let me know, because I want to know what your opinion is. My opinion is just, you know, it's my opinion, of course, but I think the way it's easy to spot someone who is who is attracted to trans women, and, you know, consider them as trans chasers, tranny chasers, or whatever. You know, I've actually blasted a few of them, but I've always blocked their names because, you know, I don't want to embarrass anyone. But yeah, to me, I just feel like it's a lot. I don't feel like it. I don't feel comfortable with being with someone who is going to be consistently seeing me as only as a sex object and treating me as a secret. You know, like, I don't know, like, you come to a point in life where you've grown from that, and you just don't want to see yourself going through that over and over and over and over again. And I think that, you know, sometimes it does get exhausting. So I get the girls that, you know, probably, I'm not saying that's their story because I don't know personally. You know, if that's the case, then I get why they would be okay with someone who, you know, we would call tranny chasers. But at the end of the day, I hope you know who you are. Stay true to yourself. Love yourself conditionally, and be your own kind of beautiful. It doesn't matter where you come from. It doesn't matter who you were. Who you are now is what matters. And don't ever forget that you're beautiful. And don't let someone else make you feel like you're only going to be loved by them because they are willing to accept you. Because it's better to be accepted by someone who's going to love you for you and is going to love you for your label. So with that being said, I know this video is kind of short, but I really wanted to talk about this topic because a lot of people do talk about it, and a lot of people have their own opinions towards this. And I think that it's very important for people to know, especially trans women who are just barely coming out, or even young trans women, to know and to be educated about this, because it's important to know that your mental stage, like where you are mentally, has a lot to do with this as well. Like, you have to be prepared for, you know, guys telling you like they only want you for this, like they only want to do this, like they don't want nothing else. You know, you have to be prepared yourself, and you have to be ready to hear these kind of things, because sometimes it does fuck with you, and it's fucked with me a lot. But like I said, I've grown up. I know what I want now, and I know what I'm going to do in life to better myself as a person. And, you know, I hope that someday someone who I'm dating, or, you know, they see that and they don't see just my trans identity. Like, they see more of that. But with that being said, again, I hope you liked this video, and I hope you continue watching my videos, because I know I'm boring sometimes. But sometimes this girl has a few juicy stories. I just don't know if I want to continue sharing my stories, because sometimes they're just a lot. A lot. But yeah, so I hope you learned something new. You know, stay safe, of course, and be safe, sexually wise speaking. Okay, so I do want to make a video with, actually, because I just explained it to you guys, about gay guys being attracted to trans women. A lot of people have this like misconception between, you know, like, if you date trans women, like, it makes you gay. Like, I've talked about it a little bit actually, but I want to get more into detail about it. So I want to bring one of my gay friends into this video and see where it goes. I just want to experiment a little. But anyways, so yeah, so hopefully I make that video soon. Again, don't forget to leave a big thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel, and I will see you guys soon. Ciao.